I'm Lori Griffith. This is my Pecha Kucha for Moneyball. When I think of baseball, I think of hot dogs, nachos, summer league games where I used to go and see my brother play. Also, it makes me reminiscent about watching baseball games on television with my grandpa as a child. Win or lose for me, the game of baseball is about fun. But for the professionals, the game of baseball is about stats, athletic performance, home runs, winnings, and money. I never thought statistics play a significant role in the decision-making process of baseball managers and scouts to determine players' value, selections, and trades. There's a name for the statistics. It's called sabermetrics, which was created by Bill James in 1977. Using statistical analysis in baseball has been around for about 30 years, but only recently, within the last 10 years, it has been widely adopted by owners, managers, scouts, and coaches due to the best-selling book in 2003 by Michael Lewis called Moneyball. The book Moneyball is about Billy Beane, the general manager of Oakland A's baseball team, going against the conventional wisdom in scouting and trading practices of players to use mathematical and quantitative analysis to level the playing field to compete with the big money teams like New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox. Billy was struggling to keep good and recruit good players. So after the 2000 baseball season, many of his players traded to other teams with higher salaries. The Oakland salary at the time was $41 million, and where the New York Yankees budget for payroll was $125 million. You can imagine it was hard for the Oakland A's to contend. This pressure drove Billy Beane to change and figure a way to compete, so he hired a statistician from Harvard to determine players' qualities that equates to winnings. Statistical analysis determined that on-base percentages and slugger percentages are better indicators of wins over traditional stats. Traditional stats typically gauge the player's offense abilities based on steals, RBIs, batter average, homers. Using years of collective wisdom and gut instincts, general managers and scouts will recruit and trade players according to these stats, and which prove to hit or miss that win come to winning games. According to Lewis's book, where scouts would go and look at the physical ability of players, speed, quickness, arm strength, hitting ability, mental toughness, where the Moneyball strategy placed no emphasis on the body of the athlete and the physical tools of the athlete possesses. Moneyball emphasizes, does the player get on base and can he hit? So players that being recruited were undervalued players that were older, near retirement, sometimes not as fit, and college players versus recruiting directly from high school. On-base percentage and plus slugging percentage, the OPS stat, captures players' ability to get on base and hit with power. The OPB stat included walks. The ability for the hitter not to make outs was far more important since the game of baseball is governed by outs. Billy realized through the quantitative analysis that these qualities were cheaper in the market and undervalued qualities of a player. So RBIs and batting averages for players were more player-focused, and it could be misleading. For instance, batting average is the number of hits divided by the number of bats. It ignores how players contribute to the team's offense by earning a walk or slugging. Moneyball stats are more objective in knowledge of the game to determine the player's value. Many qualities of the star players are overvalued skills that, like home runs, that does not always equate to win. Beane's focus was effective players versus star players. After the Oakland A's implemented the Moneyball strategy, the A's broke a baseball record of 20 consecutive wins and won over 100 games in 2001. Oakland reached its playoffs in 4 consecutive years between 2000 and 2003. They won their first playoff game in 2006, but hasn't yet won the last game to make it into the World Series. However, Beane's strategy was noticed by the big market teams like the New York Mets, the Yankees, the Padres, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, and all these teams hired full-time sabermetric analysts. The Red Sox hired Bill James, the creator of sabermetrics, as a consultant, and it has been implied that sabermetrics helped the Red Sox to reverse the curse of the Bambino after the Red Sox sold Babe Ruth to the rival Yankees in 1918, which is 86 years before the team's sixth World Series in 2004. So how has the Moneyball affected the plans? Many critics state that sabermetrics threatens to undermine the most fans' enjoyment of the game. Fans always want to see their favorite players play often, but ultimately they want their team to win. Oakland A's has yet to beat the last game, and many teams have adopted the Moneyball strategy. B's organization has one statistician, and the big market teams have 21 plus sabermetric analysts. And now the OPS stat is a more valued skill in players. Where sabermetrics at one time lowered the playing field over big money, now money trumps it all. Even though A's have not fully benefited from Moneyball, it has significantly improved the game of baseball through better utilization of players by determining the value of the game. Bill Bean realized that knowledge management and quantitative analysis that has made the right informed decision is the most important, and sabermetrics has allowed him to do so. Knowledge has always been the great equalizer, and through the example of Moneyball, it has been evaluated how I will apply these statistical analysis to my market, and I can move my company from third in the local market to first. For me, it's like this advantage is to be like a daunting of a superhero outfit and exerting my girl power over my competitors. So feel the power.